the Indian context, what do you think will get disrupted first because of all that is changing?
People are not going to like this, but I think software engineers. In India, it's still a job that makes you good money.
And what kind of software engineers?
Every kind. Except maybe people working at like a level
Very
of
high
depth
level,
where you just can't find that on the internet. Or you need to have 10 years of experience.
Deep tech is fine.
Deep tech, AI scientists will remain.
Anything that innovates on top of stuff.
Okay,
So like a generic landing page guy is done.
let's see lowest hanging fruit. Let's say Infosys, TCS, Wipro are the largest software companies in India, and they employ ridiculous numbers of people, right? Let's say they work on, I'll take a very worldly example of it. Let's say Infosys is working on this banking software called Finacle, selling it to American companies and making a significant amount of revenue from that.
Yeah.
How does that get disrupted?
I think they will hire far few people to do that. Infosys has a bench because they have this problem of attrition.
That's okay. Hiring far few people is a good problem for Infosys. It makes them
it's
more
by
efficient.
a factor of 100.
It makes them even more efficient, right? As
Correct.
a company.
So Infosys will be fine as a company.
But they have distribution.
No, I think
already,
you
right?
took a wrong example.
I'm worried about the other
You took
90%
a
of
product
engineers.
example. Okay, so because
The
product
services-
design,
Nikhil stock के बारे में सोचना बंद कर 10 सेकंड के.
if you just take pure play services, right? If you really think about the level of code that's being written, I mean, they hire 100,000.
You mean like SaaS companies?
No, that's again
services.
product companies. Services.
Service
just
exports. Like
pure
I'll
IT
build you
services.
a-
I'll build you a web page. I'll build you a website. I'll build you something where you can add to cart. All of this would be auto-generated.
And if you see
don't-
that Bloom data,
Yeah.
you can see that exports has just been growing. It's like some X percentage, I don't know the exact number, but X percentage of our GDP. It's pretty big, right? Because there's an opportunity, right? In the US, you want to hire an engineer 100K a year. In India, it's like cheap. But what I'm saying is everyone's going to be culled. There's going to be a 1%, 2% that's going to be completely fine, but everyone else is going to take a hit.
Now, just imagine if he said this for software engineers, right? Which I agree with him in profound agreement. What happens to data entry operators? There's
Marketeers.
Call center
marketeers,
employees.
call center employees. There's this whole
Can that
range.
be done? Like I used to work in a call center.
Yeah.
Can you
absolutely.
get voice?
We actually met a company the other day
Yeah.
which can in real time talk to a customer, understand what customer is saying, and it can train on the voice of whoever was supposed to make that call and can parallelly make multiple calls.
But you know,
and
that's not the
multiple
hard part in
conversations.
customer success or customer support. The hard part is deciding when to give a refund or not. It's not the voice. It's not the talking to the customers and pacifying them. It's, should I trigger a refund? Is this an authentic request for a refund? Is this guy trying to fool me? And the way Amazon does it is like, F it, just give them a refund.
Yeah.
Right? For that, you need accountability. And that's one thing ChatGPT lacks. So I'm not fully bought in on it'll replace customer support people anytime soon. Because if I give, like, if I'm working as head of some customer success, customer support thing or whatever, and let's say I give away too many refunds, I can lose my job. ChatGPT can't lose its job. So I feel like somebody has to make that authoritative decision as to, is this legitimate, is this not legitimate?
So we got software engineers. What else?
Marketeers for sure.
Define marketeers.
Like anyone running an ad.
Paralegals, yeah. I mean, the legal profession has so much outsourcing happening here, right?
Designers.
Designers, yeah.
It's white collar jobs simply because so much data exists.
What about social media influencers?
I think they will get even more powerful. I think they'll get even more powerful. I'll tell you why. Not because of the content itself, but because of the
Distribution.
channel.
Yeah.
Right. So once
Distribution,
you
right?
have the channel, your cost of content creation is now zero. So you're able to get much bigger. And if you have one channel, you can always take that audience, throw them onto another channel.
Yeah, I think anybody who will prompt, right, as in has to have intelligence to say, okay, this content will work, and hence I want to use
No,
AI
I
to
will tell you
create
what
this.
content will work once
Yeah.
if you find
Yeah.
it.
Yeah,
based on
correct.
your
So
data.
basically, still some intelligence. I think all of those will work. Anything that.
But you're
doesn't
right, like that one beacon of trust, which, I have 30 people I follow, I trust them. That's going to stay. And I think content creators who play for the views are done or will be done because you're just a scroll you're just one slide in a scroll wheel. But the people who you follow because you trust their opinion and trust their thoughts because they have depth of expertise, those people are going to stay. Right? So I'm just separating the idea of content creator into two halves.
Authenticity would still stay.
So distribution will become the biggest differentiator, right? Authentic distribution.
Authentic distribution, personal brand, that sort of stuff will...
Cash.
Both for people and for companies.
Cash will stay.
The motor.
Both for people
cash
and
is
for
a moat.
companies.
It is a moat.
People and for companies.
Companies will have to start building distribution amongst their clients in a manner that they haven't.
Do you not feel like it is? I'm just thinking out aloud, okay? And this is a question to you guys as well. Do you not feel it is so much more efficient for a new person to come out today and say, I have this much distribution. I'm going to start a new company competing with XYZ company. Yep. They have 50 engineers. They're slow. They probably have shareholders. Lots of stuff. I already have this distribution, and most venture capital is raised because you're trying to get growth and you're trying to hire a bunch of people. And I say, I'm going to compete with that company, build exactly what they have, use my distribution to spark it. Don't you feel that's like a better approach? Isn't that much faster?
On paper, it sounds great.
On paper, it sounds great.
Give funding.
Why
By
don't we
the
try
way,
it?
no,
Like
but
right
building
now.
distribution is not a joke.
Yeah.
Is not a joke.
Yeah.
Right? Trust
Okay,
me.
see, let's say between us we have distribution. Why don't we try this? Pick a low-hanging fruit, start a company, we'll fund it together, and we'll attempt it.
We'll discuss after podcast.
I'm thinking you guys have already planned something.
Yeah. This is probably a good time to now maybe switch gears and talk about the company.
Yeah. So I think there's a bunch of other stuff, right? If you're really smart about distribution, what would I do? I would go talk to every influencer who matters, who has actual distribution. Tell them, look, you have distribution. You probably don't have the skill to go take a product to market. I'll start these new products. I'll have some amount on the cap table, or maybe a profit share or whatever, and just like and share and retweet this and make a video about this and do it for the next N number of years. I'll be taking 10 bets, and you get equity in all 10 bets. That might be it would have been a headache doing
But
this.
the problem is that software is going to be like content, which is that like your product is not the moat. If distribution is the moat, then what's stopping anyone with distribution to be building their own software? You can spit out software like content now. You can spit out 3 videos a day.
I honestly believe on that point, right? The moat is the experience. If you really think about it, why are you stuck to this device, right? Because your experience of entering an Apple store, just signing in and your whole data coming up, or everything syncing when you have one Apple device to another. I mean, if you think about it and extrapolate it at so many levels, experience is why you use a particular service or a brand, right? And that's the key differentiator.
No, that could be one reason. The other could be network effects. Like
True.
Reddit has the worst experience,
Yeah.
but everyone's there. And
Everyone's there.
Yeah, I want to go
That's-
where everyone
I
is.
still don't know why Reddit works. Like, each time I've tried to use it, I've just found it so unnecessarily complicated.
I'm in that camp, by the way.
People
I
use it
find
despite it being complicated simply because they know you get authentic results. You go to Google, ask for so I've been facing like these random blood sugar dips in the night, okay? So I went to Google and asked. I got like these 10 SEO
But
articles.
if you just put Reddit in front of your query, you're
you
likely
get
to get
real answers, right? Some guys lived experiences.
That's how I Google stuff now, which is, what is the best medication for X? Reddit.
Really?
Yeah, and then I
Really?
read people. Yeah, and then I read people what people have written.
I've been doing this for 2 years now. Like this is the only way I Google now.
What else will get disrupted? So we did what all? Software engineers,
software design.
social
Design,
media,
marketing.
content creators.
Everything white collar.
everything white collar.
What else? Like lowest hanging fruit.
I think he said designers. You said
What about old school
marketers.
stuff? Like what about a supermarket? What about a business like that? A kirana store?
You have DMart stock.
Yeah, I don't think that's going to get.
Too expensive.
I don't think that's going to be disrupted anytime soon.
No, right? So the world,
In fact, an abundance of digital will probably push people offline.
so that means the world as we know it is not changing.
I mean, the digital world changes, but it goes back to what it was in the 2000s or something like that, or probably earlier, 1990s or something like that.
As in the offline world will be disrupted with other technology, right? Like drones, and you don't have to go out and it will get delivered some other way. So the blue collar side will get disrupted with something else.
And also this theory, right, that one person with access to this cool technology, some bad actor with access to this cool technology can take down the world. There's another place where it should have happened, but it hasn't. And that is drones. Okay, we have anyone can buy a drone. We have a lot of ground security for an airplane. Okay, when you get into a plane, you first have to go through check-in and whatnot. When the plane takes off, there's no security there. So even today, somebody can just drive a drone into a plane, but nobody does it. Like we don't have any documented cases. And that makes me hopeful that maybe people won't. And you can drive a drone in anonymously enough.
Can you fly a drone that high? The current drones that are available?
I don't know, but you don't need to take it when it's reached very, very high. No, you can just send it while it's on takeoff or something. You can be smart about it. I'm saying nobody's even attempted it. Right? That is the most logical way to conduct whatever, to take down a plane.
I was buying a drone and somebody told me, I can't remember.
You can't fly at a certain height.
You can't take it inside an airplane in your hand baggage or something like that.
No, that's fine, but you can start it from outside, no?
Yeah, you can.
I mean, I'm not a drone expert, so I don't fully understand how they work, but we should have had at least one instance of it.
But tell me this, okay? We had industrial revolution, right? Like, where did it happen? Birmingham, whatever. We had the factory assembly line and all of that. Didn't we think then on similar lines to today that
But you're not competing with human cognition there. You're competing with human output.
It was
like
efficiency.
as in work, efficiency.
But I think the larger point Nikhil is trying to make is that people were being displaced from their jobs because of efficiency even
That's true.
before.
That's true.
But newer
But now
categories
this is
were
cognition.
created.
It's not really efficiency it's going after. It's thought.
As in, there was always a human behind the machine to control it.
You
and
always
not
needed a
kill you.
human. Less humans, yes.
But there was 1 human versus 100 humans.
Sure.
Yeah.
Yeah. But this time that ratio is going to get really, really bad. Because most jobs...
But in a way, it's similar.
In some ways, but I'll tell you why it's different this time, right? And I know that people who make memes of saying that, these AI people say it's different this time. You're going after cognition. You're going after the one thing that humans have that no machine ever had till now. Like a steam engine couldn't think for itself and make decisions saying, should I go left or right?
And that one person was still somewhere scared of getting killed or get put into jail or, something. But the machine doesn't.
Judgment is what's being replaced, right?
Yeah. Judgment, thought, communication. It's like, you'll have something running the steam engine, but it'll be a human being, right? Now saying, will there be a human being run AI? Maybe for a short period. But I think eventually you'll have AIs that can make decisions by itself. I'll show you something called baby age AI after this. You could fire your PMs tomorrow. Don't do that, but you could fire your PMs tomorrow because it can give you the full spec.
PMs are what?
Product managers. Right? Because it'll tell you step by step what to do next for the next 40 days.
Really?
Yeah. I'll show you. And it's really good. Like you want to build Slack, you can tell it, I want to build Slack, give me the steps.
What's the name?
It's called Baby AGI. I'll show you.
And how do you get it? It's free, open.
Yeah, it's all free, open source. You just need a OpenAI key, the GPT key. And it gives you every single step that you need to take. And you can remove some of those steps if you want to. So what I'm saying is much lesser human effort.
Hi, I'm Nikhil Kamath. I'd love to know what you thought of the episode. Comment, like, and subscribe. And thank you for watching.